Now on BBC One, the BBC Weekend News with Clive Myrie.
A significant intervention from the Queen, expressing her hopes for the monarchy when Prince Charles becomes king.
I thought it had to be upside down for the press.
As they can see. I don't matter.
Celebrating the 70th anniversary of her own accession, she says she'd like her daughter-in-law, Camilla, to become Queen Consort. It paves the way for the Duchess of Cornwall to be crowned at her husband's side. We'll be live at Sandringham. Also tonight, hoping to steady the ship, Boris Johnson adds new recruits to his inner circle at number 10. Tougher laws to force the removal of harmful content from social media, including forums encouraging suicide. And in the Six Nations, Ireland thrashed champions Wales in Dublin, while Scotland beat England at Murrayfield. Good evening. In the last few minutes, the Queen has announced her hopes for the monarchy when Prince Charles becomes king. In a highly significant intervention, she's expressed her sincere wish that her daughter-in-law, Camilla, be known as Queen Consort, paving the way for the Duchess of Cornwall to be crowned at her husband's side. The news comes tonight on the eve of the 70th anniversary of her own accession to the throne. Our royal correspondent Nicholas Witchell reports now from Sandringham.
She's preparing to mark the 70th anniversary of the day she came to the throne. This morning, the Queen greeted guests in the ballroom at Sandringham, walking slowly and carefully, steadied with a stick, but alert and fully engaged.
It had to be upside down for the press.
As they can see. I don't matter.
The Queen seemed quite fit and well today. Yes, she had that little sparkle in her eye, and a sense of humour was there. So yeah, I'd say she was fine.
A little frail, but terrific sense of humour she's got, which really stands out. And very bright, and her memory must be fantastic.
And it's clear for the first time how actively the Queen is contemplating the arrangements for the future.
Probably be quite different, because nowadays we do things quite differently, don't we?
In a statement tonight, she recalled the pledge she made at the time of her 21st birthday.
I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service.
The Queen made it clear there is no question of her stepping back from her role. She said, "It gives me pleasure to renew to you the pledge I gave in 1947 that my life will always be devoted to your service." And then she turns to the transition to the reign of her eldest son and says this: "When in the fullness of time my son Charles becomes king, I know you will give him and his wife Camilla the same support that you have given me. And it is my sincere wish that, when the time comes, Camilla will be known as Queen Consort as she continues her own loyal service." Until now, mindful of the sensitivities around Camilla's role in the breakdown of Charles's first marriage, it had been intended that she would become Princess Consort. Now the Queen has made clear her wish that Camilla should have the full status as the wife of a king and be known as Queen. Tonight, Clarence House said Charles and Camilla were touched and honoured.
Indeed, Nick. Just how significant is the Queen's intervention, announced in the last 15 minutes or so, about how Camilla should be addressed?
It is highly significant, I think. It indicates not least that the Queen is now thinking about what happens after the end of her reign, and of course it settles one of the big unresolved issues about Charles's reign. What will Camilla be known as? Now, the Queen is careful in her choice of words. My sincere wish, she says, strictly speaking, it should be for the Prime Minister of the day to advise on something such as this. But who is going to argue now that the Queen has said this? Charles, of course, will be delighted. He has wanted this ever since he and Camilla married. The Queen, mindful though of public opinion, aware of the hostility that there has been towards Camilla over the years from certain quarters, but mindful too, as she says in her statement, of how blessed she was to have Prince Philip as her consort. She clearly believes that the country will now accept this. She clearly believes that Charles and Camilla deserve it. One important distinction: Queen Consort is the name given to the wife of the king by 1,000 years of custom and precedent. It has no constitutional significance, unlike Queen Regnant, which is what the Queen is, the sovereign and the head of state. One touching note: the Queen finished this statement, issued on the eve of the 70th anniversary of her accession, with the words, "Your servant, Elizabeth R."
Nick, many thanks. Nick Witchell there live at Sandringham.